The common issue in these cases, which have been here together adverting to the similarity of the reliefs sought for therein, is whether the petitioners are entitled to obtain equivalency certificates from various universities in Kerala qua their educational qualifications obtained from the Annamalai University and the Madras University through the distance education program. The universities in Kerala appear to have rejected the request of the petitioners, citing the reason that the University Grants Commission UGC has not permitted any university to conduct distance education courses beyond their limits of territory. However, it is also considered and evident from the pleadings on record that the instructions of the UGC against the aforementioned universities have been stayed by the High Court of Madras and that they are thus now conducting their distance education program even beyond their territorial perimeters. In fact, as far as the Madras University is concerned, it is admitted that except for the period between 2017 and 2019, the UGC has permitted them to conduct distance education program, but that the afore period was protected by interim orders in certain pending writ petitions before the High Court of Madras. Sri S. Krishnamurthy, Land Standing Counsel for the UGC, confirms that the aforementioned cases are still pending before the High Court of Madras and interim orders, as stated above, the still in force. Sri Jagubabu, Land Senior Counsel, instructed by Sri Brijesh Mohan, appearing for the petitioners in WPC number 16419/2022, took me extensively through the interim orders of High Court of Madras, copies of which have been produced along with the state writ petitions as P4 to P6, saying that if the High Court of Madras is to find in favor of his clients and another similarly situated persons, certainly it would not be up to the UGC to stop the universities in Kerala from recognizing its certificates subject to the satisfaction of all other relevant criteria. It is thus indubitable, it being without context, that the Annamalai University and the Madras University are before the High Court of Madras and they are enjoying interim orders. Obviously, that this court cannot proceed to speak affirmatively in favor or against the petitioners in these cases until the said court takes a final decision. This is because if the High Court of Madras is to find in favor of the Annamalai University and the Madras University and to declare that they are entitled to conduct their distance education program even beyond their territories, then surely the petitioners in these cases will at liberty to approach the universities in Kerala for equivalence certificates, which may have to be considered dehors any restriction that may have been issued by the UGC as at present. That said, however, since the disposal of the matters before the High Court of Madras might take time and cannot be predicted to a particular termini, I am of the view that the petitioners are required to the protected until such time as it is done. I notice that in most of these cases, interim orders have been issued by this court to the effect that the petitioners shall not be terminated or thrown out from the service or from the educational courses for the sole reason that they have not been able to obtain equivalency certificates qua their educational qualifications obtained from the Annamalai University or the Madras University. In one of these matters, namely WP number 26231/2022, the petitioner has sought that his promotion be directed to be considered by his employer without insisting on the equivalency certificate for the reasons aforesaid. As far as WPC number 16419/2022, no interim orders have been issued, though I am certain that the petitioners therein are also entitled to adequate protection. Before I conclude this judgment, I must however deal with one argument of Sri S. Krishnamurthy, Land Standing Counsel for the UGC, that on account of the judgment of this court in Godwin Samraj, DP Doctor, and another V. Dr. M. Abdul Salam and others, even if the High Court of Madras is to find in favor of the petitioners, the universities in Kerala cannot grant equivalency to their educational qualifications. Prima facie, I must say that the afore argument of Sri S. Krishnamurthy cannot appeal to me because the declarations in Godwin Samraj DP was confined to the universities in Kerala and the question whether they can conduct offshore courses beyond their territorial limits. The land division bench followed the prescriptions of the UGC to hold that it cannot be undone and thus ejected the various universities in Kerala from doing so. However, the judgment did not answer the question whether the certificates validly issued by other universities through their offshore courses can be denied recognition or equivalency by the universities in Kerala, and this issue is certainly still undecided. This is why I say that a resolution of a controversy projected in these cases can be obtained only once the High Court of Madras takes a decision in this regard, because of its final conclusion is that the Annamalai University and the Madras University can conduct courses outside their terrestrial limits. Then the further question as to whether UGC can still inhibit the universities in Kerala from granting recognition or equivalency to them may arise, however only in future. I am therefore firm in my mind that it will be unnecessary to keep these writ petitions pending on the files of this court, awaiting the judgment of the High Court of Madras, which alone will finally obtain a finality to the issues projected. Resultantly, I allow these writ petitions and confirm the interim orders granted. As far as WPC number 16419/2022 is concerned, I allow it, declaring that the petitioners will be entitled to apply for an end to participate in any selection process interview based on the educational degrees from the Annamalai University without having to obtain equivalency certificate from the universities in Kerala, but that their appointments will only take place subject to the decision to be taken by the High Court of Madras in the pending writ petitions as they are reflected in P4 to P6 interim orders produced therein. On the same reasoning, the interim order in WPC number 10819/2022 will also stand confirmed, but subject to the modification that the registration of the petitioner will inure to her all benefits for continuation of the course and for taking the examination, but subject to the final decision to be delivered by the Madras High Court. Similarly, the interim order in WPC number 26231/2022, though hereby confirmed, will stand modified to the extent that the promotion of the petitioner shall be granted to him provisionally and subject to further orders from the High Court of Madras. On the High Court of Madras delivering judgment, and if it is in favor of the Annamalai University and the Madras University, the petitioners herein will be at liberty to approach the universities in Kerala for equivalency certificates, which authorities will then consider the same decourse the various orders impinged in these writ petitions independently and guided by the applicable regulations at such relevant time. If on the contrary, the High Court of Madras is to find against the Annamalai University and the Madras University, then the benefits granted to the petitioners in these cases through this judgment, both in equity and law, will stand automatically vacated, and they would only be entitled to any such benefit subject to further orders to be obtained by them, either from the Honorable Supreme Court or through the other such process of law. Needless to say, since I have not considered any of the contentions of the parties on its merits, they are all left open to be impelled or pursued in future, as found warranted after the High Court of Madras delivers judgment. I also leave full liberty to all the petitioners in these cases to approach this court for any clarification in future depending upon the circumstance to arise.